I'm live. Hi, sorry I'm late. I'm really sorry. Hi, Martha. Hi, Martha. I know. Hurry up. There was a lot. There was a lot going on in the last minute here. Okay. Hi. Welcome, all you creative, lovely creative people. I'm June from Oakham Witch Lane Designs. I got this camera, and I should be looking at that camera. How is everybody today? Whew. Okay, I was running around a little bit last minute. I didn't realize it was that close to 12. Having a little coffee. Okay, so today I'm going to do my Gothic. I'm going to do my version of the Cinderella Coach, and it's going to be a Gothic one. I tried to figure out what the scale of this piece is. It's not 1/12 scale, but it's not 1/24 scale. I'm not really sure what the scale is, and it never used to bother me what the scale was because I would make the item, if I was going to put a person next to something like this, I would make the person or the mouse to fit the coach. But I was trying to figure it out, and I couldn't. But I did leave a whole bunch of links in the I don't know what you call that, underneath the video, where I got the coach, where I got some of the pieces I'm going to show you, where I got the black and gold fabric. Some of this I couldn't link, and I'll go along and say which ones. Okay, so that was one of the things I wanted to mention. Then the other thing I wanted to mention was, now I wrote it down on my little piece of paper. I got a very nice message. Oh, and by the way, let me first say hello to who is here. I don't have my YouTube chat up, so I'm depending on StreamYard. Hi, Martha. Hi, Yvonne. Let me see. Let me try to get my YouTube chat up. Okay, and I'm getting message that will just have to wait a second. Pop out chat. Okay. Good. StreamYard. And where'd that go? Oh, that worked. How lovely is that? Can I move it? There you go. Okay. Hi, Barbara. How you doing, sweetheart? How you feeling today? Barbara's had, I'm just going to look at my, I'm sorry, I was getting, okay. Okay, good. All right. Hi, Olivia. How you doing? Hi. Welcome. Hi, Kathleen. How are you? I'm so glad everybody's coming in. I know Telly knows about it if she doesn't come in this time because she was upset. Okay, that she missed the last one. Hello, hello. Welcome. Come on in. Okay, so before I go into my whole spiel about what I want to say next, I just wanted to say my condolences to Barbara. Her daughter, she has two daughters. They come in sometimes. There's Shannon and Ashley. Shannon had a doggie that she's had since he was a pup, and they had to put him down yesterday, or the day before. I'm sorry, the days are blurring. I think it was the day before. So it's been a very rough time for Shannon and the whole family because we know with our pets that it's a family thing, although those of us who treat our pets, I got a hair sticking there. So I want to personally mention my condolences to Barbara and the girls, and of course Billy too. It's a rough thing. I still have the ashes to my first dog who I got cremated over there because I want to be buried with him. Okay. Joanne, how you doing, sweetie? How are you? I'm so glad you made it too. Hi. Okay. So, I'm not gonna I just wanted to say this. Recently, I've been thinking about copywriting because I am working on a tarot card, and I don't know if I am allowed, because of the copyright laws, to post pictures of the tarot card or to even post what I'm doing. My 3D version of the tarot card. So I contacted the person the publisher or where I bought the cards, to ask them to give me permission. Now they said it would take 1 to 2 weeks sometimes for them to respond. So I'm holding back from showing you that because I don't want to get a copyright strike. Now I've seen a lot of channels do things that use printed material to make things from. So I'm not sure exactly what the copyright laws are. I know that they catch you for music because it seems like that's easy, to find, but I don't know. And especially since I am not one of these huge channels where there's a lot of people watching me. But so I'm waiting to hear from them because I would like you to show you that creation, or at least the finishing touches. One of the things we were talking about on Martha's last live was how to make a stirrup. And Olivia gave me a good idea of a pinch bail, but because the pinch bail was, the ones that I can find online were too big or too small. That was the problem. But I have figured out a way, and of course I don't have it here when I just did have it here, and I don't know where the heck I put it because that's the way things are going. I can use a zip tie. I have very small zip ties, and it's the perfect thickness and wideness for a stirrup, and you can bend the plastic of a zip tie so it holds. Okay, so that was that. Let's see, the next thing, I think that was that I wanted. Oh, this is what I wanted to talk about, the copywriting, and I got squirreled again, and I'm trying not to do that. I got a very nice message from a lady named Nalisha. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Her YouTube channel is Dream Walking Angel. Nalisha, and if I'm saying it wrong, I'm really sorry. Watch my Ravenclaw video, and she's asked me if she could try to make one of hers also online, and that she was going to tag me and link my channel in her video. That to me is respect. If I'm putting something on YouTube and I'm showing you how I did something, you can go and do, as far as I'm concerned, you don't need my permission to do it because it's on YouTube. Everybody looks on YouTube and sees how to do things. One of the things, though, that I really, really liked about this was that, first of all, she asked me, and second of all, she's going to give me credit for the idea, which is something that, while she doesn't have to do it, it's so respectful that she is, and it's the right way to go about it. I know that I try to do that a lot. If I got an idea, I mention Thicket Works, Heather Tracy, who's no longer a YouTube channel. She's no longer making videos, and she took her channel down. And that really upsets me because I loved her work. But there is a place where you can still go. And, if you follow a blog link or something, you could still see the creations that she made and see the lists. I'm getting messaged a lot. I'm sorry, guys. But what I wanted to say was, for me, because nothing I do is copyrighted, you can, when I put a video out here, you can, you could do it, because that's why I'm putting a video out here. If you'd like to try to do something that I'm doing, that you would give me the respect of asking is lovely, and even more, the linking or saying that the idea came from me is what I really like. Like I've told you in the past, if I have a book, I've showed you books on how to sculpt polymer clay animals. I showed you the book. I wouldn't show you the pages because I was afraid to get a copyright strike there, but showing you the cover of the book is not anything because that's advertising. So, Chris, okay. So knowing that, now I tried to get a link to her channel. I'm not sure. I'm just going to try to get the link. Hold on a second, because I think I'd like to copy, and let's get there. Here's the link to her channel, and paste it. There you go. This is Dream Walking Angel. Alrighty, so I just wanted everybody to see that. Now let's get back to chat. We have Christine in the house, and I said hello to Joanne. Christine, you're awake. I did brush my hair, Christine, and my teeth. Well, most of my teeth, because I have missing teeth all over the place. Okay, did I miss anybody else in chat that I didn't say hello to? I'm just scrolling through. I think I said hello to everybody. So let me stop yakking at you, and let me turn my camera around so you can, and I hope I don't leave studio. That would be stupid. Okay, let's get the camera turned down. And yay, I did that. Okay. I got a new Fiskars mat. I'm going to try to keep it clean. I keep buying mats. And this is my old one, and you can tell because I'm messy. Okay, I'm just messy. All right. Oh, I forgot to do one other thing. See, I knew. I was chatting so much, I forgot. All right, I'm going to have a Halloween giveaway. I don't know when it is, but I will have a Halloween giveaway. Let me get my YouTube chat up. And somebody here that I missed? Cynthia? Oh, Cynthia, hi, I missed you. I'm so sorry. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Cynthia. I'm sorry I missed you. I'm getting you're getting good at this. Thank you, Christine. Okay, so here is going to be my Halloween giveaway. Let's move it up a little bit, and you can see the more of my mess on my desk. Straighten it out. Get that straight. Okay, so when I do it, this is going to be my Halloween giveaway. I made it with a Michaels candle, wooden candle sconce thingy, and this is just a job that I think someone, well, someone, not I think, someone had given me as a present. I in school, leaving, a nice little girl gave me a present in school. So I burnt the candle down and out, and now I used this. See, you know what? We should really take a bet on how many times I have to get up and get something that I forgot, because I really did try today. I used this 3M Super 77 spray adhesive on the fabric, on this mesh fabric that's underneath the whatever you call this, the stocking. And I sprayed it on, and I let it dry for a little bit just to get tacky. I put that around the candle, and then I put the fishnet, that's what it's called, fishnet, on top of it. And it was tacky enough to hold the fishnet. At first it wasn't, but it did, and you could still see through it, which if I would have tried to glue the fabric on with anything else, even with Mod Podge, it would have made the glass not clear. So I put one of these little fake candles in there just to show you. I'm not going to shut my lights because that means I'd have to get up again. But that's how it looks for Halloween. So I just thought, oh, don't do that. I tried to stop you from doing that. Don't autofocus. Okay, so this is going to be my Halloween giveaway this year. And we'll get closer. I put little bats. Why isn't it clear? Come on, camera. I put a little bat there. And then this is some Venice trim that I cut out, and I painted it black and put little sparkles on it. These were white that I painted black. We're into painting everything in black now. These were different color roses, and I used that Lindy spray or somebody spray, I don't know which one, just to spray them a little bit oranger, to spray them to make them orange. So there's some ribbon around here. This is dollar store beads that were painted. Why? Okay, I have to stay down here. Dollar store beads that were painted black because they didn't come in black. They came in other colors. And I try to spray paint a lot because I just find it's easier. It gets better coverage. And then just ribbon around here and some frilly lace that I had that I really didn't have any use for. So, or whatever you call this. Okay, so that's our giveaway. And I'll handle that giveaway the same thing once I do a close to the Halloween. I'll do a video, and then whoever comments the next, in the video, the same thing that I've done in the past. For those of you who might be new, what happens is I'll post a video that I'm doing something else like this. And I'll also say it's my Halloween giveaway contest, and all you have to do usually, and wow, I really was trying not to do this. Why is it so, come on, buddy, you can't do this to me. Why is it so blurry? It's on autofocus. This is going to be a 10. There we go. It's moving. All right, if I get out of this, I don't know how to get back in to fix this, so it's going to be moving the whole time. It's going to be making questions. Anyone got coffee ready? Thank you, guys. Okay, it's really jumping. I don't know how. You know what? If I go out and then come back in, which I think I can do, I have to shut it down. I don't know. To get it to stop jumping, I try to do that with my camera so it wouldn't jump. Yeah, it's jumping bad. All right. Well, why is it doing that? Will you stop? Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I don't know if I go out and come back in because I have to go totally out. You know what? I'm going to X out of everything and try to get back in so this camera doesn't stop. It's going to give me hopefully a 2-minute pause. If not, I'm just going to go on live again and we'll figure it all out. Okay, guys, I'm going to go away for a few seconds. I don't like this jumping. It's going to make me crazy. Okay, I'm Xing out of everything. I'll be back in a bit. Sorry. Whoa. Sorry. We're not jumping. I'm so sorry, guys. I just not could not have the jumping because it was going to drive me crazy. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, now we're back to normal. There we go. It'll be no gumption to do anything. I think she tried Martha, but if it didn't work for some reason, I can't turn. Okay, I can't turn off autofocus once I get on to StreamYard. There's no way that I have figured out how to. So I have to get all. I have to get totally out, do it on my camera, and it's still jumping, but not as bad as it was. Hopefully it won't start. I can't get out of autofocus, and I don't know why. It's maybe my camera setup, but enough of that. I'm here. Camera jumping is the only exercise I get lately. I'm good, right? We're supposed to have a heat index, and it's still jumping. Okay, you know what? I don't think I have had that kind of problem when I go with my use my little laptop upstairs in my dining table area. Okay, so I might have to start going live from up there, but it's still jumping. I can't figure this out because I turned off, I put it on what I wanted, and it's still doing it. But okay, so let's get to the Cinderella Coach. Yeah, I'm going to give Christine exercise. It's still just Santa Lucia. We're not allowed to curse, but there's going to be cursing going on. I wouldn't mind. I would cut it out entirely and go upstairs, but I spent a lot of time putting the links in the bottom of this video, so I am not going to, you know. Okay, heat index of 104. Horrible. Did I miss anybody coming in? No, I don't think so. I got Barbara, Olivia. Okay. Said hello to everybody. We're good to go. All right. So here's the Cinderella Coach. And what I decided to do, or a piece of it, what I decided to do. All right. We're going to turn our little hat around. And I am very annoyed at this camera today. I don't know what your problem is, buddy. Get in there. Okay. Is I decided to cover it in fabric. I will never do that again, but it's working so far. This is and I also, I'm sorry, I got all discombobulated with the jumping camera. Okay. I did not like, what I did, going back, is I cut off some of this loopy loops that were here. And I didn't, how it was, and this is not the piece, but how it was set up was this was the bottom piece, a straight piece across the bottom. And if you open the door, which I bought little hinges for, also from Alpha Stamps, I linked the shop. Alpha Stamps is a wonderful shop. It has paper. It has chipboard, beautiful chipboard. It has miniatures. It has a lot of these chipboard things. You have this coach, the funeral coach, a gypsy wagon, lovely stuff there. It's all linked down below. So that's, I mentioned Alpha Stamps. So I didn't like that it went straight across because I'm going to be opening and closing the door because I may put creatures in here. Okay, so the first thing I had to do was to figure out how, and I did it very intensely, how to, where is the hole? Okay, how to build it so that when you open up the center, the door, you don't see a hole. So I had to cut, this piece and this piece originally went clear across as the bottom. So I figured out how to, where I wanted this to go, how long this piece had to be at the bottom. So I figured that out. Then I glued this piece, which is just regular black chipboard. Can you see it? Black chipboard at a certain level because I also had to figure out where I wanted the seats to be. And then I measured and cut out the bottom pieces so it goes into the slots because this is all slot construction. And with the painting and everything else, some of these tabs have to be cut or trimmed down just to fit still, but this one fits. So this is now the bottom of my coach. And the lights and the jumping camera. Okay. Now, you're not going to see this part. That part you're not going to see. Do you have a sprinkler system, Joanne? Okay, so now this is the other part, the other side. Oh, okay. So, as you can tell, I only had to glue in this fabric, which I put a link to this fabric down below also, in certain spots. I didn't have to put it all over the place because this is going to be on the outside of the coach, these pieces right here. And so is this area on the other side of the tab. So I had to cut it down, and I used the spray adhesive for this. And how I did that, because of course you're spraying, is once I figured out exactly what part of the inside of the coach that you were going to see, I took this really weak masking tape that I have, and I used it like painter's tape, and I taped this all around with the masking tape. I went outside, I sprayed it with this, my Super 77 spray adhesive, and I gotta say, I thought this was gonna stink. It wasn't that bad. It really wasn't that bad at all. It had like a citrus smell to it, I think. So I sprayed the board, not the fabric. I sprayed the board, and because the masking tape was covering the areas I didn't want to, the masking tape covered the areas I didn't want. Why is this happening? Okay. I didn't want the glue to go on. So then when I got this back in the house, because I sprayed it outside, I took off all the masking tape, laid it down on the fabric and cut it out, and, you know, cut around all the areas that were not glued around here. And of course, fabric frays. So what I decided, and it was hard to like sand it down. As you can see, there's still some sanding that I have to do because there's little fuzzies. So then I took polyacrylic gloss that I have. I was thinking of using Mod Podge, but Mod Podge can sometimes leave, it's not going to be shiny, and this stuff was shiny. I have the real can in my art desk. I just always take a little bit of it and put it in a bottle just because I don't want to be opening and closing the can that much. This way, if this goes, I still have, like if I mess up this or get something in it, I still have a clean product in the can. I put that on it because I wanted to make these little, yeah, you can see them, the little extras so that I can sand it down, because cutting the fabric out is really not so easy because of the fray factor. Then this fabric, And where is the rest of it? Is here. And this I couldn't give a link to. Ooh, what did I drop? Oh, matches. Oops, hold on. This I couldn't give a link. The outside fabric. I couldn't give a link to because I bought this. Let's move this over for a second. And hopefully, yeah, there goes my, there you can see it now. It's I think it's a Jacquard fabric. Just a sprinkler attached to the hose. Oh, that's really hard, Joanne, to do that. I remember. I thankfully was able to get an in-ground sprinkler system, and if I had to go around with that hose, drag the hose around like I did for many years, I would have went absolutely crazy. The sprinkler system, I don't know how much property you have, but that was one of the best things that I've ever, besides central air conditioning, that was the best thing I've ever installed in my house. This is a Jacquard. Okay, getting back to here. This is a Jacquard fabric. Darn this jumpy thing. Come on, baby. And it's very shiny on this side. And hey, Benny, how you doing? Hi. It's very shiny on this side. It's not as shiny on this side, and the pattern isn't as raised. I don't know if you can tell that. This side, the pattern's pretty raised. Okay, it probably looks the same to you with my jumping camera. So I use the back. A lot of times in a Jacquard fabric, the way they weave it, the back is sometimes more interesting than the front, and I like it better. So I use the back, and this, when I glued this on to these pieces here, I use fabric tack because the spray adhesive, I just thought the fabric tack would be easier. And then after I glued it on, I put a coat of this polyacrylic so that it would hopefully make this easier to sand down. Now, what I have to do, okay, and what I was talking about with on Martha's is just sand down the edges, and hopefully that will smooth out, and then I have to probably cut off. Two things. I will never do this in fabric again. It was a nice idea, but it was a very interesting idea for me. I would do this in paper, and if you're asking why I didn't do it in paper first, good question. I'm not a paper artist. I don't have paper. I like working with fabric more. I have worked with paper a little bit of the time, but I just really like using fabric. I will not do this again. And I had this fabric. I bought this fabric recently. This fabric, the black on black fabric, I had a long time ago. So, and I couldn't figure out what to do with it. I love the fabric, but the problem is, you see, also this one I could get away with, but when you buy it, if you're making, like I do with my mice, the thickness of the fabric is very important, because if it's too thick, and my mice are only about this tall, it won't lay, it won't drape pretty. So unless I'm doing like a queen where I want it to be very stiff, this fabric was gorgeous, but I didn't have a lot of it. I think I only bought an eighth of a yard, or whatever they call that, some kind of a cut. I don't know. It's very hard to make this drape, and I never went back and bought more because of that. If I was doing adult size stuff, this would be beautiful fabric to work with, but I didn't have enough to do adult size stuff with it. So that was that story. Now I'm missing chat. Do you think that it's too early for that? We have them already at the store I work at. No, Benny. No, because, well, let's put it this way. In a craft store, like Michael's and some other places, people who do craft for Halloween, they should already be done with all of their crafts now if they sell them. They should really be, or almost done, because you have to be a couple of months out. so that people, when it's, or have the stuff so that you're making it. It's very hard with like YouTube videos, because if you're going to want to show people how to stuff, they don't want to know, like they're not interested until it gets more towards the end of September. But when you're crafting and trying to make at least, nicer things that take not nicer things that take a little bit longer, you really have to start earlier. If stores being decorated for Halloween, yeah, I think it's a little too early for stores to be decorated for Halloween. Not a paper artist. That's what I keep saying, June. Now I've got 7 paper pads. Yeah, okay. Yes, Olivia, but you like having a lot of different crafts. I don't. You know that I don't like having a lot of supply of stuff. I like working in fabric better. Yes. I love Barbara's a paper crafter. Yes. Let's see. That's all, Olivia. Christine has hundreds of paper. Yeah, she sure does. I love paper and fabric and any crafting supplies. Well, you know how I feel about having a lot of crafting supplies. I feel like I got to do something and use them. Okay. And I have enough. And then I feel bad if I go out because I'm buying something else. So a lot of times I will try to utilize things I already have, which is the same, like I was talking, if you missed it, about the stirrups for my skull person. So you just have to take your time and sand away. And that's why I kept putting the polyurethane on it to stiffen these fabrics so they would sand away. And then, of course, I was going through, hold on, with my scissors. There's my scissors. Okay. So if you were doing this in paper, it would be a lot easier. Obviously, you wouldn't have to do all of this. And if you did over, you could cut the paper a heck of a lot easier than I'm having with the fabric. But you know what? That's okay, because this is going to be unique. Everybody can cover this in paper. So only crazy people, not crazy people, and people who like to give themselves a lot of work would cover it in fabric. And once you put the polyurethane on this, you can just keep adding more and more. Okay. Yeah, it's got a nice, not 100% book coast. That's true. I went into, yep. So now this is getting soft on me. So if I can't cut it, I'll just put another layer of the polyurethane on it. Okay. And get it cut out. Okay, so, I mean, I can keep sanding, but I wanted to show you that that's the way to handle if you put paper on it. Now, I did this. I did the top. Now, the top consists of 3 pieces. And since it's the inside of the coach, I put it in the inside fabric. And I sort of semi-glued them together. This has been glued together after I put the fabric over the whole thing. And I masking taped off the tabs, which is something else I wanted to talk about. I sort of put them together because it sort of goes like this. So I just use some fabric tack, and that's why I still have the bend on it, thank goodness. And even if it comes apart, it's not a problem, because once I put this together, that was the other thing I was going to explain. Once I put this together and start gluing all the pieces, everything that's on the inside has to be done. Any decoration that I want to do on the inside has to totally be done, including the seat cushions, including the back cushions, which here's the backs of something. Now, which one is this? I wrote on all of them, back, and you can't see because of my camera, back, top, back. So this is the back of it. So the back is over here. And so that's going to go like that. Once I start gluing everything together, I'm not going to have access because I'm going to be closing the windows with some acetate, if I can find where I put that. Okay. That was something I wanted to. So everything in here, cushions, whatever decorations I want to put on this wall, has to all be in there, because you have to put the whole thing together at one time. Getting beat. Sorry, can't see that. Hold on. Hold on. Hold the phone. Okay. All right. Clear all of that. Good. Okay. Well, Krista can't be with us today. Sorry, Krista, if you go back to watch this, I got your message. I'm sorry that you can't come, but I hope you're feeling well and, you know, everything is still going good with you. Last time I heard the meds were working, and that's great. Okay. This piece here, and you'll see that there's, I hope you can see, there's a corresponding piece here. We'll be holding another piece that I had to cut. This. I'm just going to show it to you like this. It's the ledge that I am going to, and you can't see it. Okay, here. It's the ledge that's going to hold the pillow for the coach seat. Okay, and once I put that in, I'm going to figure out if I want to put a back cushion here and what kind of decoration I would want to put behind the back cushion and stuff like that. Okay, so that's another step that I have to figure out. But let me show you something else too before, because I put a lot of links in the description box underneath. I bought 2 different sizes of this this chipboard, not this one. Let's hold that on the side because I'll just say that. I bought 2 different sizes of this at Renea Boutiques. I put the link. It's an Etsy shop. She makes beautiful chipboard if you're into the scrolls and stuff. So there's 4 of these. There's 4 of those. They're the same thing, only in different sizes. And this is what's going to be on the outside, and also what I used on the inside. Can you see the gold in there? The inside of the coach. There's different pieces. This is just a piece I had from something else. So once I get them all sorted, I'll show you some of the ideas that I have, because you can do a lot of different ideas with this. I also, on Pinterest, looked up Gothic coaches or funeral coaches. I'm not quite sure which one, but either one will get you a lot of images to give you some idea of what you would like to do. Okay, so I bought 2 sizes. I think I bought the largest size and the smaller size. It comes in at least 3 sizes, large, medium, and small. Okay, happily ever after would be a good paper for this. I don't know what that looks like. Are you sculpting a horse for it? No, I'm not. I have. Okay, I don't. Sculpting a horse, Benny, and it's a great idea, but it's very hard to do. It's not something, it would take me a very, very long time to do. So what I would probably do is sculpt a rat and a little mouse, a little evil mouse queen in here. It would be smaller than my normal size, like I did on my funeral coach. I think I mentioned that Alpha Stamps, one of the links, has the funeral coach. This in 2 sizes. This comes in 2 sizes, this size and a smaller size, and also a gypsy caravan. I had bought a horse that I'm waiting to show everybody because I'm trying to get permission from the company that I'm using as a inspiration to do this thing. I bought a horse on Amazon called Breyer, Breyer horses. They have them in all sorts of different styles and colors. I think I can show you the horse if I don't show you the card. Hold on one second, because I really did a lot of work on it. Hold on, guys. So this was a black horse, and I painted it, and then I flocked it with off-white flock. And, oh, this is lovely. My phone's ringing, too. Who is this? Nope, it's not anybody I need. And I did this. I sculpted this. This is the same fabric as I'm using on the outside of the coach. This is leather. Don't throw out any gloves, by the way. Don't throw out your leather gloves. If you have a leather glove and you drop one, don't throw the other one out. Keep it, because glove leather is the thinnest leather of all. And you can use that, especially at this size that I'm sculpting at. This is the perfect thickness of leather if you use glove leather. I found a black glove in the street that was all crumbled, and or maybe it was dark brown, who knows, it was black after it weathered. I normally don't, pick things up that are garbage in the street, but I picked it up. I washed it when I get home, because you can wash leather. I washed it just to get the germs off of it, and then I let it dry, and that leather went into this part, and then I sculpted the little, can you see it, the little skulls on there. The backing of this, because I couldn't figure out how to do it, is a Mylar sheet, and we can talk about that later if I ever get to show this. And this is all pieces of that, the leather from that glove. This is it's a thicker leather. This is a piece of leather that I got off of, not even leather, I don't know what the heck it is, off of Michael's. They sold these straps. This I sculpted. And this is, the mane came out, and I have some wool, and I just stuck the wool here and here, and I made a mane and a tail. So let's see. So yes, that's what, I took out his eyes and just put it gray. Of course, it's going to be a little bit of a creepy thing, but not creepy, just Gothic. This isn't creepy. Creepy as if I did blood and guts all over the place, and we're not seeing blood and guts. Okay, so that's why you never throw out any of your leather. Okay. So these were now getting back to the beautiful chipboard. I spray paint these outside. I ran out of spray paint already. I ran out of black spray paint. Here we go. We're not even near October. I like what you added to the mouse coach Hearst. Yes. Yes, that's what I made. So I'm thinking of doing that here too. So I don't know if you can see this on there, but this is sort of like fun. This is the fun part. You can try to figure out where you want to put these pieces once everything is done. And I've changed my mind so many times. Now, okay, here's the front of the coach. The front is here. The back is here. There is a board that's going to come out from over here, because there is a tab. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see if I have the piece here. I think it's this piece. I didn't fix these yet. No, it goes this way. Okay. There's a back piece here, which if I wanted to, I could put two people or one person standing on the back like they usually did in the back of the coach. And here's the front. And here, it's this little piece and this piece. Okay. Something like that. See, it's really hard if they're not glued. Okay. Okay, so this is where the driver can sit. The driver, I don't know if you can see that. And I love how my camera keeps going in and out. It's going to make me really get crazy. Okay, so that's where the driver is going to sit. So if I did this, it would be something that's driving the coach, a driver, an evil queen, and maybe somebody hanging out on the back. So that would be 4. Besides, when I finish the coach, that would be 4 creatures I would have to make for this. We'll see if I get to do that. But one of the fun parts of this is trying to figure out where I'm going to put all of this lovely scrolly things. And you have this, and it comes in this size, and with, oh, I think I used the little one. No, here we go. And this size, these little ones. Okay. And then somehow I got these 2. And I got only one of these. I don't know if I bought other sets. And 2 of these, but I already used one. So I have a lot of different options of how to decorate the coach after it's all finished. And that's the fun part, because once it's all finished and the inside is done, I can just work on the outside, and that'll be a lot of fun. This is all prep work, and I have to tell you, the prep work to get this to the point where I can just decorate on the outside has taken 3 days, I think it is, so far that I've been working on this. I mean, not 8 hours straight, but it's still taking a long time to get this done. And part of the problem with that was because I decided, quite honestly, to use fabric instead of paper. If I used paper, this would have already been at this stage. So I am learning my lesson, because one of the things, if you want to sell something, it's got to be cost effective and worth your time, because 3 days worth of work, and I'm still on the darn coach and not even done with the coach, is not cost effective. But it was interesting. And that's one of the things that I always find with art, is I want to do something that motivates me, and try new ideas and see if it works. If it doesn't work, that's fine. You learn your lesson and you move on, which is exactly what I learned here. I will never cover it in fabric again. I will only use paper. And since I'm not planning on doing another one of these coaches, I'm shedding for a while. Okay, so thank you, Martha. Thumbs up. That would be nice. I'm enjoying the process, Benny. I really am, because this is something that I wanted to do and I wanted to try it. But then there comes a point where you have to figure out cost effectiveness. Like, I'm enjoying it. Oh, hi, Ashley. How are you, sweetie? I'll be right back to you, Benny. Hi, sweetie. I didn't get to write to you yet. I will. I'm sorry for your loss. Okay. What I wanted to say is I'm enjoying this. And there comes a point, and this motivated me. So yes, I totally agree with you that as long as I'm enjoying the process, but when I go to sell it, I can't sell it for a comparable price for my time. Because if I've already worked, let's just say I worked 15 hours on it, it's already up to, at less than minimum wage, it's already up to $150. And I didn't even finish it. And that's at $10 an hour, which is minimum wage. We all do remember that car mechanics get paid $95 an hour, at least in New York, which we won't say anything. Everybody needs their car fixed. But if I've worked 15, and there's going to be a lot more than 15 hours on this, another 15 hours would put me at 30 times 10 is 300. And it's going to be a lot more than that. So it's not, I have to remember when I do this, and that's one thing I have to remember when I finish a piece, because I am not in the upper echelon of artists that get exorbitant money for what they make. And there are some artists that get exorbitant money for things that they make, which is fine. They deserve that. They really do. The cost effectiveness for me, it just, like you said, it just has to be the joy of making it, because there's no way that I'm going to get financially rewarded for it. Thank you, Kathleen. Okay. One of the things about these coaches is on one side is a bigger wheel. On the other side is the little wheel, and the little wheel is towards the front, just so you know that. Okay. I haven't painted the wheels yet. I will be getting to that. And I think I told you everything but one thing. Oh, I want to show you this. I had this left over from the funeral coach. This was a little rugs that I had gotten from the funeral, a runner and stuff like that, dollhouse stuff. And I bought it on eBay, and I can't get this. It doesn't seem to be able to get this pattern anymore. So I made a little carpet for in between. Even though it's a different pattern, it doesn't clash with the background. Okay. Now, one more thing. This piece, which I'm thinking is going to go on the top, I bought at Gypsy Soul Laser, I believe it was. And I went to try to find it, and for some reason I can't find it in their store, so I linked something else. that's close to this. It's a little bit longer, I think. It's not the same piece, but at least if you go, you have the link, you can go to that store and look at all the beautiful chipboard if you're into chipboard. Okay, I think I said that, right? Good. Okay, here's the door. Here's the door. Here's the inside, and I didn't cut it out yet from that. I can do that now. I put a couple of coats of, I think I put some coats of polyurethane on it. Yeah, I did. So we can try to do that. And then I'm going to try to work on the windows. Even though I might not glue them in, I'll show you how to do that, because there was a lot of talking to this. I'm sorry, guys. I know. I'm chatting, and not crafting. On my new mat. Let's see how much I can mess up my new mat. I'm just using an X-Acto blade. A small fortune. Thank you. Yeah, Benny. If I was being paid, yes. But you know, like you said, it's I don't know. There are some artists that get paid a lot of money, and their pieces are worth it. I am not trying to say that their pieces are not worth it, but until you get famous enough, somebody looks at you and you get famous, you're not going to make the kind of money, or you just keep it in your house and don't sell it until you get famous enough. And as your mom would say, the curio cabinet is full. Benny, the curio cabinet is full. I'm just using the thickness. Now I use, as I said, I was using the polyurethane to stiffen up the fabric so it's easier to cut. Again, if you're doing this with paper or if you're painting it, you know, you don't have to do this kind of a thing with paper. You can just paint it. This stuff, this chipboard that they have, it accepts paint really easily. One of the things, though, they do mention to you is you got to be careful about the tabs. The tabs, you can't be putting a lot, but I'll show you something about the tabs after I finish cutting it out. You can't be putting lots of coats of paint or paper on the tabs because the fit is tight. The tab to the slot is very tight fitting. So if you're going to be putting layers and layers of paper, or even two layers, one on top, one on bottom, you're going to have a problem getting this tab in. So you just go around and you take your time trying to cut it with a I should have a sharper blade in here, but I don't. Okay. Then you take your scissors and you cut out anything that was not coming out. Okay. Still not coming out, huh? This is, see, when you do this, trying to get that little corner piece, when you do this and nobody's watching you, you don't care how long it takes. Not that it takes as long as it takes, I guess, is the right way to look at it. There we go. Now you can see, I don't know if you can see because my camera with the jumpies, it's very hairy. What's the door made of? This is all chipboard. This is all made out of this thick, let's get that, just a little bit more than a 1/16 of an inch. And I don't know how to measure that. It's like, oh, millimeter. Oh, that's a good thing to use. Let's see if I can figure that out. Okay. It's 3 centimeters thick. It's a nice thick chipboard, although it does warp. So if you're going to be it can warp. Oh, what I wanted to show you before I forgot, if one of your tabs is too thick because you've done something, you put paint or and it just doesn't fit, take your tab, wet it. Now this is lightly score it. And then you can pull off a layer. I just pulled off a whole layer and I didn't even realize it. So you can pull off a layer or two of your tab. And that would make, so you don't have to, I try to do anything that I don't have to sand. And you can get a layer or two off your tab, and this is still thick enough where it'll make the tab just a tad bit thinner so it goes into the slot easier. So another little tip, even if you don't do it with fabric, it can happen with paper. I am doing a bad job of this because I'm on live and I'm not taking my time. So we will just, did I miss anything? Hey, it's investing in a car. Yeah, it is a small fortune. Yeah. See, what I was saying, and I don't, I'm not, this is just a fact. I'm not begging for anything. No, well, whatever. I always wanted to do a Christmas Carol, Scrooge, Jacob Marley, the spirits of Christmas past, present, and the future, Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim. I'd love to do that in a mouse set. And I think I've mentioned this before, but it has to be sold as a set. I just couldn't do one because, I mean, who would want to buy Bob Cratchit by himself? It would have to be a set. And I even have like some cool ideas of how to get it done. Some would be mounted on, like the Ghost of Christmas or the Spirit of Christmas present has that he sits in the big chair with all those beautiful foods around him. So, of course, for the mice, it would be cheese and berries and sunflower seeds and stuff like that. And, but I mean, I could do it for my own thing. But again, that's something that if you're just trying to create to sell, another thing that's not really cost effective to make. But then you have to go back and figure out, just like, Ben, you were talking about, if this gives me happiness, then, but then I could, I could create enough where I couldn't even walk in my house. It gets to a point where you can't sell the stuff. It's just taking up so much room. So I don't know. It's an iffy thing. And I don't want to look at my nice new mat for you people so that you can see what I'm doing easier. Okay, this was for the mirrors. So I just wanted to show you how, this is cutting out a door. And you can tell it's very rough. If you can't, you can tell it against my hand how rough it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slop another bit of polyurethane. Hey, Yvonne, how are you? I suppose you can cut it with an X-Acto knife. That has to be hard. I'm surprised. Yes. You know what it is, Ashley? It's because I'm stiffening it up. Stiffening it up. Okay, I got that. Now, because I don't want to get my little board, my new little board messy on the first 5 minutes that I put it down, I'm going to take a little of this, which is just wax paper. I do have this stuff, which is, I don't know what you call it, the silicone thing, the silicone sheets. But I mean, I guess I could do it on that too. But right now, I like using this when I pour CA glue on something, like especially if I'm using CA glue to harden a piece of cardboard or chipboard. That was a Heather Tracy tip. Love that tip. Although the CA glue that you use, you really have to, like, you have to put your hands all the way far away from you and stand back from it, because even with adequate ventilation, that stuff is bad. That, you know, the really loose one, here it is, this one. It's this one. This is the one, Star Bond thin. Lovely stuff. It makes anything that's out of, as Heather said, and it's true, it made anything that's out of cardboard. You put a coat of this on the front and the back, you think you have a piece of wood. Now, cardboard is paper, so it does come from wood, but it just stiffens it so much that, and it even sounds different. You know, I don't have a piece now that I did it to, but this sounds like cardboard. When you do that, it sounds like wood. It's a lovely tip. The only thing is you have to go all the way over there. You stay as far away from it as possible and still try to get the job done. Okay. So I'm going to take my polyacrylic. June, are you going to create a mouse for this? Yes, I probably am going to create a mouse queen to go inside, a mouse driver, and some kind of creature to pull it. Now, we're not sure what we're doing, or maybe I was thinking, honestly, I was thinking of trying to make, and this I could do out of polymer clay. I was thinking of trying to make a lizard driver, and lizard on the back, you know, the two lizards on the back, dressed in, you know, the Coach livery. Can't say some of these words, especially with no teeth in my mouth. Oh, I'm getting my implants on August 9th. So I'll be getting all my implants, and then I'll be getting my teeth in October. And I'm really hoping I get my teeth this year before Halloween. But now I'm putting a very liberal coat on this, and that's fine. And I just want to make sure I don't get too much on the back or fan it out. Sorry, paintbrush in the mouth. Not a good. Just take it off because I've already put coats of this on the back. And then let's leave this to dry. I'm going to take a clip and just see if I can lean it on there somehow so it doesn't. Okay, there we go. All right. There. So that's basically it for that. That's how I polyurethane those things. Okay. So I should have showed you the door hinges from Alpha Stamps that I got. These lovely little door hinges. And I will, because I'm going to take this. How do they get? Okay. I'm going to take this and move it someplace else so it's out of my way. Oh, I can move it right here. Okay. Hold on. Not too far out of my way. Let me see if I can find the hinges, guys. Hinges. See, I leave everything in one spot and then I lose it. Okay, can't find the hinges. Wait, found the hinges? Yes. Ah. I'm trying to leave, when you have a couple of projects that you're working on, I try to leave all of the stuff in one area. But now, like all the stuff for this project in one area, but this has sort of taken over the entire place. Hey, Phyllis, how you doing? Yes, lizards in my, okay, here you go. Well, there goes my little, okay, what, follow those nails. Okay, gotta get all of that. So these are hinges that I bought from Alpha Stamps. Beautiful little hinges. And here is the doorknob, the door handle for the coach. Now the hinges work. The door handles don't, but they have little keys. Look at the little keys. Goodness gracious, look at those little keys. These don't work, but they're close enough. I love the little keys. Okay, so I got that. Okay. Eek. All right, what I have to make sure is I get all the little tiny nails up, because let me see, there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I need all my little tiny nails. That's the most important part of all of this, because there's no way I can 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and done. Okay, so there we go. Those are my little hinges. Okay, Olivia, in case I don't see anyone or I'm locked away, summer holidays start tomorrow. I'll be locked in a room with my oldest grandson going bald. Okay, from pulling my hair out. Okay. That sounds like fun, Olivia. Okay. Another thing before I do the windows about this kit, I'm just trying to show you so you know. This is the dowel that goes through here. And sometimes it is a real tight fit, as you can tell. It's not going through easy, and it could be because of the glue or everything else that I have in here, or fabric. Don't try to really mess with these holes, because these are the only things, and they're made out of chipboard. Now I can strengthen them a little bit by putting the CA glue on it, or I'll mention the product, Starbond Thin would stiffen this up a little bit. I would rather sand down the dowel, and because even when they have to go through here, it's, you know, you really have to work this to get this in, and you don't want to, when you're trying to do this, even though this is thick chipboard, you don't want to bend it or break it, because like then you have to fix the wheel. So you have to be, this is a part that you have to use pressure, but you can't go overboard with the pressure. Does that, and then what I'm going to do is, once I get this wheel in, see, it's tough, because if you want it to roll, you can't glue the wheel onto the axle, because the axle is not going to roll. So you have to put spacers between this and the wheel. Am I making sense here? Spacers. So, and I don't know if this was some, no, this was also from Heather Tracy. You go out to the hardware store and you buy these little rubber gaskets, I guess they're called. And nothing's more fun than asking a man assistant to stand there and get all these shapes out, this size out. You only want this size. I remember I drove my hardware guy crazy. And then you just put them on there. And that would go on, okay, the axle would be on here. This would go between the axle. This little spacer would go between this and the wheel on here. And then once you get these on, you can put a little bit of glue on these so they don't like shift. And then you have your wheel. Okay, and then you can glue something onto this, just the point of the axle, not the wheel to the axle, because you want, if you want your wheels to roll, they're going to roll only, you know, here. Now, if you don't want your wheels to roll, this is real easy. All you have to do is glue your wheel on, and you're fine, because the axle is not going to turn in here. You don't want the axle to be the thing that's turning, because this piece is not steady enough to have that kind of wear and tear on it. Okay, this is just a holding piece. So it's either you don't glue the wheel on and you do something, you know, to back it so the wheel doesn't move in and out, because unless you have something here, because the axle is pretty big, you know, it's bigger than this whole thing. So these little spacers hold it away from the side of the coach. I hope that made sense. Am I making sense? The end of August, I'm going in your caravan for 10 days. Phyllis, is when school breaks for 6 weeks in the summer. And we don't have places in the UK like America where kids go to camp for the holidays, I think you call it. Yes, camp. Send them to camp. Okay, now I'm finally getting back to this part, which is trying to do windows. And I'm going to try to attempt to do this. Okay. I think I've told you everything about this. I told you about Gypsy Soul. I told you about that. I told you this little thing I made and all of that. Let's see. Is there anything else I didn't tell you? No. Okay. We are at windows. Yay. All right. Now, paper. Okay. Pencil. I took a pencil. I know I took a pencil down here, guys, before I came down. Pencil. Okay. So I'm going to trace out the windows here. And because now I had another tracing of this before I put the fabric on, and I can't find it. Okay. So let me make sure I got it. Got to hold this down because it goes up. And these ledges wise, to get this down, that's got to be, and this is the back window. I'm doing that because I'm not sure if the back window is an exact cutout of the front window. And I know that this is, nope, that's the front window. See? Great, June. You'd really screw yourself up that way. Okay. And where's the other door? Door, where are you? I know you're here somewhere. Door. Okay. I can do it over here. Now I had, like I said, I had this traced out before I put the fabric on it, and I really wish I could find it, and I can't. And that really annoys me because it was here, and I don't think I threw it out. Door. Okay. Now, when you're tracing something, especially using something like this, you're tracing the inside a bit. So when you want to cut this out to use as a model for something, you have to be careful on how you cut it out. I'm going to try to do a door one here. You have to cut out on the outside of your line because there is a depth that you're going, you know what, this is how I like to cut. And I'm using a little bit heavier cardstock paper. I'm not using regular computer paper. If I'm going to be using it as a pattern, I like something that's a little thicker. Yes, is spikes going to be on the outside of the wheels? I don't know yet. I haven't figured out what the hub, well, I call them hubcaps. I don't know what they're really called, but I don't know what I'm going to be putting here yet. I have the jewelry findings that go over balls. You know what I'm talking about, Kathleen, if I'm not saying it right, and probably everybody else in chat, but you know, those round things. So I have those that I can put on there. And because this is wood, I can drill a little bit so I can put a pin in it to hold it down. So, Oh, you're working? You're working and you're in chat? That's funny, Benny. Don't get in trouble, bud. It's no one's at the pool. Isn't it hot out? Okay, I could do it this way. I don't have to cut it out. It's a straight cut, sort of. So I'm going to cut a little bit on the outside of the line. Oh, yeah, on the outside of the line, because this was cut on the inside. So this is really where it would be. I'm going to try to get right up to the end of the lead. Okay. I think this is how I'm going to do it. I might change my mind in a second. This is because this is my new cutting mat. Okay. I have a piece of glass from a refrigerator over at my desk. I can't see it. The only reason why I'm not using that is because of the reflection. I would love to put it here, but there's going to be a reflection of lights. I should really try it, because I should put it on top of this to see how reflective it is, because I don't have any lights that are really right above my head, which also causes another problem, except for my computer light, that, the light coming from there. But I liked working on the glass because you can drop anything you want, and I can tell my blade is so darn dull. You can drop anything you want and clean it. And it didn't cost me a dime because it was the original refrigerator cost me money, but am I going to be able to do it this way? No, because I'm afraid the paper is going to slip. When I was going to school, and I know that most of you have those paper cutters and stuff like that, but when I was going to school way back when those paper cutters were invented, I was in the High School of Art and Design, and that's in the city, Manhattan. For those of you who really don't know, I lived in Queens, the 5 boroughs of New York City, and then you have what we always called the city. Now, when I talk to people out here, the city is sort of like any of the 5 boroughs. Or they say I'm a city kid, but I grew up in Queens. And when I was growing up in Queens, it wasn't the city. It was sort of like not suburbia. But everybody refers to me as being a city kid because it's different than living out here, which is more rural than Queens, but it's not like, unless you go farther out east, this is not farmland. But when we say the city, or at least people who grew up in one of the boroughs, we're meaning Manhattan. We don't mean any of, but if it's, okay. Oh, I was back to this. When I was growing up, when I went to high school in the city. I came from Queens and I went to Manhattan to go to high school on a bus, public transportation, none of this school bus stuff. We used public transportation. I could have used the subways also to get to my school, but we used the public transportation. And I was in packaging design. I didn't go to college, but the high school that I went to was fabulous in teaching art, and this was called packaging design. And that's where I learned how to use a T-square, a triangle, and how to cut with, X-Acto knives and stuff. We were taught at a young, what were we? 15, 16 years old. You needed an X-Acto knife, and you needed to learn how to use it. You needed to learn how to respect the blade, which right now I wouldn't let anybody in my class. I get nervous when people in my class are using scissors. Okay. So I still follow the same type of rules as far as measuring, because again, I'm not a paper crafter right now. Like I used to make boxes and design the packaging. That was what I went for. But I still use the same rules, except I can't use my T-square. I still have my T-square. It was a metal T-square. And you sort of felt pretty safe, because walking around with the metal T-square, all you have to do is bop somebody and they're out to lunch. Okay, now, where did the plastic go? Oh, I love this. I got so much poop all around here. And I don't know where. I just cleaned it. Before I got online, I cleaned it with some alcohol. And where did I put it? Well, here's the pattern, guys. We got to do that. Here's the here you go. Your lovely little thing. Okay. So I got this from packaging. I don't know what kind. I think it might have been my imitation gold leaf package. I save my packaging if it's flat pieces of acetate simply because you could use it for things like this. This is a pretty thick one. It's not one of them flimsy ones. Yeah, oh, Kathleen is going? Oh, I'm sorry. Bye, Kathleen. I'm sorry for me. There's nail art spikes that look cool on a Gothic Coach. Okay, thank you, Olivia. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't know what's going on. Kind of bored, so I appreciate the entertainment. Okay. Let's see. Now, this is, I think I have enough room to do all of them. So if I screw one up, I think I will still be okay. So what do I want to do? I want to score it first. My art teacher, oh, I'm sorry, Ashley, because you're really good. I saw you. I don't think I saw the second dog you made, but you're really good at, with, you would needle. Oh, here's the thing. Here's the star. Okay. You're really good with needle felting. You did that dog really, really nice. I love that dog that you made. Okay. Here is my thing that I'm going to use for my stirrup for my horse. It's one of those small, I told you, well, I cut this down, but it's a very thin, perfect size, perfect width, perfect depth. What I have to do is I have to I'm going to glue a piece from here to here. And I might use this, one of those CA glues because I'm hoping it stays to make it really stay. I'm hoping that it melts I'm hoping it does, if I can say this properly, is it melts it, like joins it by melting it a little bit, and that'll make the bond stronger. And I'm going to put a rod from here to here. Can anybody see what I'm talking about? That would be nice. I'm going to put like a little stick from here to here, and that's where the leather is going to be attached to make the strap for the stirrup. So this is the perfect width, perfect size, and I just bend it. And when you bend this tie thing, zip tie, it stays. It stays. It doesn't unbend it. I really bent it with my pliers, and I think it's sturdy enough where it's not going to break. And that's what I'm going to use for the bottom of my stirrup. And of course, I'm going to paint it and all that lovely stuff. Okay. Did I lose everybody? So I'm going to take a break for a second because I'm going to go get some masking tape. Hold on. I have two types of masking tape, and I got to tell you, this is the one that doesn't really stick at all, this beige one, the normal colored masking tape. And my daughter, when she had an art class in college, the teacher kept saying she wanted like strange things. And one of the strange things is she wanted black masking tape. And I'm like, Megan, I've seen a lot of this color masking tape. I've never seen black masking tape. But I have to tell you, I love this black masking tape. This stuff sticks. This stuff really sticks. As a matter of fact, I put it on the bottom of here, and you can see the lines. I can see that you can see the lines. Just after I glued this together, because it's angles and this, that, and the other thing, just to make it sturdier, I ran pieces of tape around. Now I'm going to paint this. I painted it, and I might even be covering it in paper if I can get black construction paper. And, because it doesn't need to be anything good. And this is on the bottom, and I don't know. Well, people always look on the bottom of things, so I want it to look neat. But this stuff really, really holds. The black one, this stuff doesn't. So I'm thinking, and I don't want to use a lot of this in case I screw up. So I'm just going to scotch tape. Masking tape that down. Let's find some place for the masking tape because we're running out of room. Okay, my floor's got a whole bunch of garbage. Okay, and I'm going to pause for a minute because I've been yakking. It was in 10th grade. I was out sick and couldn't finish a project. She refused to let me take it home and finish it and gave me a low grade. Mom wrote her Oh, good. Well, not that she hated you after that, but Barbara, I'm glad you wrote her a nasty note. Good for you. Also, school are boring. It's just paint and pencil crafting, abstract chocolate fabric, and it's more hands-on, like an advanced class or something. Yes. Sounds like my mom and the gym teacher. Oh, gosh. My mom, when I was growing up, was afraid. First of all, I went to Catholic grammar school from first grade to 8th grade. And she was sort of afraid of the nuns, so she never said anything because when she was growing up, the nuns were really, you know. I don't think she ever complained to a teacher. I think she was scared of, like, not scared. Well, yeah, maybe scared. I don't want to say she was scared. Okay. Now, all right, I don't have a lot of lip on any of these things. So I have to make it pretty close. So we're going to hopefully get this accomplished. You know what? We're going to bring in the big guy. I've been watching a lot of the art channels I watch. They use these. I don't know what it's an Olfa. Am I saying it right? Olfa? Gosh, this is messed up already. Look at this. How did it get so messed up already? I never notice things until I'm on live because I'm too busy using it. I never realize how I mess up all my tools, that they get dirty. I like this guy though. This was a box cutter type. That's what we used to call them, or a matte knife. Oh yeah, in school I was also taught how to, and this was tough. If you have a mat board and you're trying to mat a picture, because most pictures like watercolors and stuff, not oils, but watercolors or acrylic, or even, they look much better with a border mat. And we used to be taught how to, okay, a mat had like a beveled edge, and I can't do it now, but we were taught how to cut a mat on a beveled edge. That was really pretty. So that when you're matting your own stuff, it had a bevel to it. Very pretty stuff. Now I should have just, you know what? Why am I being stupid? Utilize the edges that you have. And you have a cut edge over there. So just move this over so you can utilize that instead of trying to cut all around. Okay. All right. Was my head in the way? Oh, gosh, what the heck was that? The glue. Okay. So before I start cutting, June, do you remember did you measure the template to window? No, but I can. Because I cut on the outside of it. So I have more room on the top and the bottom than I do on the sides. So I got to make the sides just a little bit bigger. And the top and the bottom I can, but if I was to put it in there, it would go in. But I'm not going to put it in. I'm going to lay it on the top and then put a trim around. Is that what you meant, Martha? So what I'm doing is I'm trying to give myself a little, you can't see it, but I am not putting my pattern right to the edge. I'm giving myself like less than a millimeter, and I can always cut it down. I'd rather cut it down than be too short right now. And I'm just trying to get it on there straight. because I'm going to trim the outside around the mirror, around all of the windows with some trim that I have. As a matter of fact, it's this trim. But I have this trim in off-white, and I have it, and it's really pretty. It's a very textured, which you can't see. It's a cord. I have this in this color and black. And I'm going to use this color, and I'm going to paint it black because I don't use this color as much as I do my black one. So I don't want to run out of my black one. Not right before Halloween coming this year, because you never know how much I'm going to need. Okay, let's have fun. I haven't cut. This stuff is tough. Ugh. Wait a minute, I'm supposed to cut more. Okay, that was 2 passes of this stuff, and I pulled up my ruler, which is also not a good idea to do. And go outside of where you're going to be cutting here. Okay, that went through. Some lessons that I've learned is always cut towards you. Always cut towards you. Yeah, we went through. Okay. Alrighty, let's straighten this out again. Okay, I could probably cut this with scissors, but I really don't want to. Oh, the other thing that we were taught is, and I can't do this here, is, well, maybe I could if I went like this. This would be good. Is when you're cutting, you always leave, and I can't do this because of just the way it is, but you always leave the ruler on the good side, and you do your cutting on the outside, meaning that I would, see, this is here, and I would put my ruler here, because if I screw up and my blade goes, it doesn't matter. But if I had the ruler here, and I screw up and I go out like this, it's going to mar the part that I want nice. So we were always taught to cut on the outside of the line, you know, like on, well, not on the outside, have the ruler on the line that you want to cut, and the ruler is protecting the good side, but I can't do that here. So, because I can't see what I'm trying to cut. Okay, I'm doing it upside down because I could see it better. And I needed just a little tad more. Is this crooked? Okay, let me just fix the tape. They don't want to follow a crooked line. What? Good woman, yes. Good thing she looks at chat, Martha. Christine, what are you doing? How are you feeling, by the way, Christine? I was going to take a break, and then I started yakking and working again. How is everybody feeling? All my lovely ladies and Ben. I know how you're feeling, Ben. You're at work and you're bored and you're watching me in a beautiful spot. No one's in the pool. Okay. Well, with all the new cutting equipment that they have now, you don't need these tips. These are old fashioned, you know, now you have that thing that you guys use for your paper crafts where you just and it's cut. This is old fashioned stuff when you just use your rulers and your T-square and your mat knife. My teacher in packaging design, my teacher in packaging design in high school, he passed a couple of years after I left high school. He got cancer, I think. Nice man, wonderful man. And we had a young adult, whatever, a high schooler in our class who had, I guess, had ADHD, couldn't sit still, crazy, used to drive us all of us nuts. And you know what he did? He was so smart. He was like before his time, as far as teaching, because it wasn't something that when I was growing up in school, when I was growing up and going to school, all of these disabilities, or I don't even want to call them disabilities, but different things that children have, they weren't understood. I mean, kids used to be, the kids used to be whacked if they didn't do their homework. There was no like they couldn't do their homework, because they didn't understand what the heck was going on. I hope I didn't screw this up with the tape. Probably did. Okay. But so he took this young boy, and he realized somehow, just because he was a good teacher, that distractions bothered him. So there was this little corner inside one of the walls, like there was this space where you could fit a desk. All you could fit was a desk and a chair, and that was it. The length of the desk and the width was just, and he put a lamp in there, like a light. The kid had light, and he put him in there. And I have to tell you, this kid was some great artist, but because of his, he just couldn't sit still, or he was very distracted. I never saw the kid after that. The kid was so happy. Now, I don't know if putting a kid in a little corner vestibule would be considered okay with all of the rules that they have nowadays. And I understand the rules. They are there to protect the children because they had been abused at times. But I always marvel about how he figured out, and that kid was happier than a pig in poop. Okay, seriously, because he was working, he wasn't getting in trouble, because he would get in trouble because he was just too hyper. He sat there, he was working, he was happy, because if you're in an art school, you want to produce, you want to create art. And I really don't know how, and I'm just going to thumb for this and hope I get it right, because I can't figure it out any other way. Let's just score it once. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. All right, let's get all of this off here. He was so happy in that little corner, in his little corner of the world, because I didn't even know he was in the class. At one point, I was like, where did that kid go? And then I walked around or something, and I saw him in his little corner. Happy, happy kid. Happy camper. Now you probably have, this one, that one, and the other one telling you that you shouldn't have done that. Let's see if, no, can't bend it. Thought I could bend it. But back then, it worked. Okay, I might be double cutting this, but if I'm double cutting, like, in other words, I'm not cutting in the groove that I originally cut into, but since this is going to be covered, we're going to try to do that. There we go. No, pretty close. So we have a window. Now, let's see if I did good. Hoo-hoo, I don't have much room to spare, but that's fine. That's all I needed, because what I'm going to do is, where'd it go? After I paint this black, I'm going to use this as my trim. Does that make sense? So you don't, and it'll hold the edges down. But I do not have any room to spare here. How much fun was that? And I can't put this on because I didn't finish sanding. There's still, you can't see it. Can you see it? There's still fuzzy wuzzies over here that I have to get rid of. But that is as close as, I mean, that is as small as I can make it, where I can still glue it onto the sides. The reason why I'm so concerned that it doesn't go out anymore over here, and I'll show it to you so you know. Where am I? Okay, here. When I put, and where's this? The top piece, that's the front. That's the front. Okay. When I put the top piece in here, okay, let's not lose this. Let's move this over. Okay. I don't have a whole heck of a lot of room over here. I have no room at all. So, I mean, I can be cutting little strips of paper, but this ribbon fits right around there. And because it's ribbon and fabric, it'll be easier for me anyway to cut and glue and get in the crevices. So that's what we're up to, guys. So I got that done. I can cut another one since I did so well on the door piece. Where'd it go? We're going to try another door piece. Okay. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I should be able to get it all out of this one, but I might go down a little bit lower. Do I have, it's not a straight edge there, and that's unfortunate because that would have made my life easier. Tape. I'm going to try something. Okay. I'm going to try to do something just to make it straight. So I don't have to, okay. See, with the T-square, I would have straightened this out, all told. Thank you, Martha. Let's get, wait. Let's get this because it's a little up there. Okay, I'm just going to try to, well, we would have done the first thing. One of the first things we were taught to do was straight when we were drawing on a piece of paper, especially if you're doing architectural drawings or drawings of boxes, you needed straight corners. You know, you needed to have a level line to measure up on, and you needed it straight. So we would put our T-square on, get our paper on top of the T-square, put little pieces of masking tape on the top of the paper, and then straighten out. So that once we determined what was the straight line on the paper, and then with, you know, any other line that we made horizontal on the paper would be straight. If we were going vertical, we learned how to use our triangle that we would put on the T-square to make the straight lines like that. When you're making something that precision, okay, at least on my level precision, that was what we were taught, to get like your straight line first, and then you can always measure up from that. And if you're using a T-square and a triangle, you only have to do one measurement. If you don't have a T-square and a triangle, of course you have to measure up in 2 places so you can line up your ruler. I'm just going to try to get this so that I have at least one straight edge here. We'll see. I don't want to cut this, so let me get clear. Okay, and that jumped. Okay, I'll take this off because I don't want to ruin it. I felt it jump. I felt it jump. I felt like my blade jump. Another thing was, try not to put your thumb in the way. Like, do not have your hands, if you slip off this thing, anywhere where if the blade slips off, you cut your thumb. And of course, I didn't do that as well as I should have as far as where my thumb was, but that was another little lesson that we learned. Bye, Livia. Oh, you're welcome, Olivia. Have fun with your grandkids. Don't get bald. Okay, so now that we have those 2 edges cut, we're just going to tape this down, front and back, straighten it out with the stupid masking tape that doesn't hold anything. Okay. I could use my pattern again, but let's live dangerously. Lining it up. I'm sorry if my head's in the way. How long have I been on? What time did I go on? Noon. Okay. I didn't. Okay. How far up? All right. Ah, shoot. That always happens to me. Okay. There we go. That side. And now this side. And we have the, oh, we don't have the, really? And I'm doing everything I'm not supposed to. I'm supposed to be cutting towards me. Give me that groove. There you go. You're done. So now I have the two windows for the doors. So I can put that aside, the door. Now let's get this. And I'm hoping I have 1, 2, 3. Right, how much? 3, and then, yep. I can get my 4 more pieces out of that, out of the rest of this for the 2 fronts and 2 back windows. But your big toe can replace my thumb. I sort of like my big toe. My big toe is sort of weird. It's sort of like dumpy looking. But okay. Well, ladies, that's I'll just to stay on for 2 hours that I normally stay on. I'm not going to cut any more of those things because it's making me sweat doing it on a live. I also have this trim, which is a rope trim that I could use in other places. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's a real fine rope trim. I love this stuff. I use this stuff a lot, but normally you would see it because I paint it black. So I'll just, oh, and here's my Scythe. Am I saying it right? SCYTHE for the card. I can't show anybody because I haven't gotten permission yet, but I did. This is going to be the blade, I think. I'm going to make it out of polymer clay. This I can make out of polymer clay. And how I would do, well, there's 2 ways to do this. I have that, and I showed it, sheets of Mylar. You can cut this out of the Mylar sheet, and then you can put polymer clay over it. You just rough up the Mylar sheet, and you put liquid polymer clay on it, and then you can put flat pieces of clay on and sculpt it on front and back, and then sculpt whatever you want on the blade. So I think this is the design. I might fix it. I have to look at it like this because the lines confuse me. So I might make it a little bit wider over here. And then I have the pole somewhere here. Oh, here's the pole. Oh, good. I didn't lose everything. The pole to put it on. So this would, oh, you can't see because I'm going up here and you can't see up there. Okay. So that's what I'm going to do there. You're welcome, Olivia. Let's see. Why do I have to hit the arrow? Oh, okay. All right. So I'm just going to paint some of this black. Where did my thing go? Because I am not going to try to get my lovely new board dirty. And I get real sloppy at this. And where's Joanne? Where'd it go? Joanne, I opened up a new, where the heck did the can of gesso go? The new bottle of gesso. Where did that go? I love this. I don't know where anything is. It's always right there. It's right there, guys. It's right on the other side of the mouse because it's so important. Where did I put that? Okay, glasses. Oh, goodness gracious. It wouldn't be one of my lives unless I didn't get up 42,000 times. Where did I put? Ah, there it is. Oh, it's hiding. Okay. Coming. Okay. I was trying to clean off the desk because I just put this down before I went live. And so I was putting things away, but my lovely black gesso is always right by my thing. I'm still here, June, but June videos are so over my head. My only conversation is tell everybody. Oh, come on, Joanne. I thought between, oh gosh, between you and Christine with my big toe can replace my thumb. I can't get my toe up there, but let me tell you, this toe is not going to replace my thumb. Here, look, my poor feet. There you go. I happen to like my thumbs. I don't like sculpting thumbs because there's really odd angles. I'm trying to sculpt a thumb, but I love my thumb. Okay. Gosh, you can't. Okay. Whew. That was fun. That was fun. Where is my paintbrush? Ah, it's here in the water. I don't know where the heck Penny went, but I always remember Penny on one live. And Penny, if you're watching, hi, honey. Wish she would come in every once in a while. She always told me, she once said that she kept her feral. Is that the word? But, well, you know, we have to have some comic, you know, relief here. Besides, it's getting close to 2 hours, so I'm getting punchy. Okay. I always think of her when I take my paintbrushes. So that's quite a bit. Thinking of you a lot. Because she always said you can't get paint up in the ferrule, if this is the ferrule. Now look at my paintbrush. They're an absolute disaster. Now this is only some of them. I only buy cheap paintbrushes because I am really hard on them. And if I have a good paintbrush, then I'm very delicate and try to be really good. But for the most part, my paintbrushes look like they went through the war and came out on the other side. Okay. I mean, this is one of my favorite paintbrushes now, and it's all messed up. It's all messed up. Yeah, I just wanted to show you my feet, just in case you didn't see my feet. You know, no holes barred here. All right, so we're going to paint the trim. And I'm even putting it on wax paper so I don't get it all over my brand new mat. I'm so happy about my mat because, and then I'm probably going to put the old mat when the video is off, I'm putting the old mat on top of the new mat because that's how I normally craft, right on the surface in a mess, and that's why they always look like that. I paint on it, then when it's dry, I just pull it clean off the thing. Oh, another crafty tip. I have another crafty tip. Why not? Now that alcohol is no longer among the missing in this world, for a while there, getting alcohol was like searching for gold. I always keep a bottle of I always keep alcohol in a spray mister and Bounty or shouldn't say the brand name, paper towels. And I find that spraying something and then cleaning it with the paper towel is a lot less wasteful than if I was using wipes, and also cost effective for me because wipes cost more money. And the paper towel has multiple uses, and with a little spray of alcohol on it, now that alcohol is no longer like gold. That was one of the things that would, when alcohol was scarce, I was like, what the heck am I going to use for my crafting? Because you didn't want to use alcohol in crafting because it was a little, wasn't around. Couldn't get it. But now that we can get it, I get, oh, you know what? That's even better, Martha. A wet washcloth? That's even better. That's really cool too. I have, oh, are you going off? Don't go off the little wax paper, please. Trying to keep everything neat. A wet washcloth is also very cost effective, and it's better for the ecology than even me with my paper towels and alcohol. But I don't throw out my sheet. Second, everything's coming with it. Everything wants to get on camera. Here, I already showed the rope. Here, so you're on camera, so you saw it. See, there, you're 50, you got it on camera. I keep this for a while. I'm not saying yours is a lot more cost effective and better for the ecology because you're not throwing out paper towels and you can just wash out the washcloth. But, so I told you I paint, this is just gesso. I paint a lot of my ribbons if they're not the right color. And then because this has a very nice texture to it, if I put it in one of the gold waxes, where is Shirley, by the way? Shirley isn't here. Why isn't Shirley here? And what happened to Telly? She saw the post. I didn't see Telly in here. Or Vic. Okay. I feel like I feel like I was talking about school so much I'm taking attendance. Okay. Kelly was supposed to be here. And she did see the post. I posted it and she saw it. I know she saw it. I think she saw it. Maybe it's just I don't know. But oh, hi, Shirley. How are you? Did you say hello when I missed you? Hi. I know you're here, Benny. You're supposed to be working, buddy. If anybody goes in that pool, you know what you have to do. Well, no, you're not the lifeguard. I'm sorry. You're the person who tested the pool, right? Tests the water quality of the pool, which is a very important job because who wants to go into a public pool if it's slimy? Few washcloths. Okay. So when this, when you paint over fabric, it, like I'm trying to do so that I can sand out the door and stuff like that. I'm trying to make the fibers stiff so they stick out. When you're painting this, then you can put those waxes over it. I'm just going with the attendance thing. Okay. You can put the wax over it because it's, you can still put the wax over it if it wasn't stiffened, but you can put the wax over it. Because you created a stiffer stiffer surface because you're putting this on it, so it stiffens the fibers. And of course, I'm going to, when this dries, I'm going to do the other side just because why not? Okay. I'm just going with the attendance thing. I know. I felt like I was a teacher calling attendance. Shirley, where is she? She came in. Telly. I haven't seen Vic. Okay. I've been doing a lot of yakking. Yacky, yacky, yacky. Oh, it's 2 p.m. 2 hours. YouTube might just throw me off. I'm just going to paint a little bit more and then I'm going to stop. Because you don't need to see me painting ribbon. I mean, I don't think that's sort of interesting. But I've always talked about how I paint my ribbons if it's the wrong color. Just paint it. So just want to show you. And I have to also, even with ribbon, and I know that you guys know this, but if I'm going to put a metallic on this, if I was going to put gold on it and try to make it gold, I would still paint it black or red because gold looks better on black or dark red. Silver, I would use black, not red. because I don't know, because of the richness of the base, it always makes the metallic look richer. I've used some of the waxes on white, and they just don't come out as pretty as they do, or as vibrant as they do, and as they do on a dark color. Now, of course, any dark color would work. If you're into dark blue, that would be nice, but um, I'm not into navy. As oh, Ashley, okay, I'm sorry. Bye, Ashley. Shannon's getting right. Ashley, I'm sorry. It's just a horror. Okay. Well, I hope that you and Shannon can go get the ashes and keep them with you. At least you have them with you. That's how I felt about my dog Lucci. And I'm so sorry about all that sorrow that you family is going through right now. All right, Ashley, you take care. Drive safe. All right. Oh gosh. Okay. We're not going to think about that, because then if I start weeping and gnashing, I mean, that won't be good. Okay. Breaks my heart because I know what she's going through, because I left my first dog, and I think I'm comparing it to because my first dog was like my baby. So, yes. Okay. All right. Okay. Sandy is watching. Okay, Sandy, why can't you comment? I didn't block you, I don't think. I didn't mean to if I did, but hi, Sandy. I don't think I blocked you. Hey, Martha, ask bye, Ash. Love and kisses, honey. Martha, it's okay. I mean, I don't care. I know. I wish dogs lived longer. That's the reason why I just, she's on her phone. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I was afraid sometimes, who the heck knows what I do, and I don't remember blocking Sandy. There would be no reason to block Sandy, but okay. Let's see. I wish dogs lived longer. Yeah, I do, Christine. So do I. That's why I really don't want to. I mean, I've adopted stray dogs in the past, so I can't say that I would never have another dog. And, I don't know if when the kids leave or when we go out, whatever, I might want to get another pet. But I don't want my heart broken anymore. My heart's been broken enough. And I'm at the age where you can't say, oh, they'll live forever. No, they won't. And then if they outlive you, who's going to take care of it? Like, I sort of went through all of that when I don't want to end on a bad note, but I sort of went through all of that when my husband passed away. It was like, oh my gosh, you have to think, my kids were 12 and 9. Who are going to take care of my kids? Who's going to take care of the house? Who's going to take care of the darn dog that was like, would kill somebody if they came in here? Who's going to take care of the cat? It was enough. It was okay. But I am not going to concentrate on that, because I don't want to end this on a sad note. My heart is for Ashley, Shannon, and for Barbara too. She's had a lot of losses recently, and the last few years she's lost a lot of very important people or animals in her life. So it's just a sad time, but I am going to go back to painting black trim, because yeah. Okay. So whenever you're painting black, you'll always notice that you're going to have spots. You're always going to have white spots. Okay. Oh, another thing to show you. Well, this will be fun. Okay, I'll show you something else. All right, well, I painted a lot of this. We're going to move this to the side now. Okay, my door that I polyacrylic is all nice and dry, and this is really feeling very stiff. So if I sand it, it should work a little better. Now, when you sand it, this area gets like a grayish hue to it, but all you have to do once you finish sanding is put another coat of the polyurethane, and that comes off. Okay, so you can do all of that sanding and stuff like that. And I still would have to sand the doors very well because I want them to open and shut easily. I don't want them to be stuck where you have to pull on it, because if you have to pull on it, you're going to either break the door. So I do have to sand these on the side a little bit more just to get them down. Now you could say, well, why didn't you do it at the beginning? But still, anything that I did sand them a little bit at the beginning, but you're still going to have to sand them more when you add all the fabric and the polyurethane because it's going on the side. And I just want them to be an easy open and close. I want them to stay closed, but I want them, if you take the little door handle, which is the only way that you're going to be able to open this, and the door handle can only be glued on, there's no nails to go through the board. I want it to be easy, that you don't like pull on it and then all of a sudden the door handle's in your hand and the door is still where it's supposed to be. And also I don't want it to bend. So if it's sanded down a little bit smoother and it just comes on and in and out easily, I don't think it would open by itself that easily, you know, so I'm not going to make it where it's that loose, but I will make it easy to open and shut by the handle, which just means I have to work on this some more, which is fine. You know, I'll just sit here while I'm watching something. I'm currently watching Bosch, B-O-S-C-H, on Amazon Prime. It's a cop show. I haven't watched a cop drama in years, and I'm finding it very interesting. Okay, so I will do that. Ooh, my new board. Sorry, I know I keep saying it, but and I've already scratched it. It's supposed to be self-healing. Okay, well, I guess not. What did I want to show you? I said, ooh, I wanted to show you something. Oh, yes. Okay, coming back. Hold on. Hold the phone. Where did it go? Hold the phone. I could show you that. And I had another piece. I know I keep leaving you guys. And why don't I have one of these things to show you? Where did they all go? I don't know where it all went. As usual, off the course. Okay. Now, when I was doing my, and this is another interesting thing to show you. Okay. But I can't show you it right because I don't have one and I should have one. I just don't know where I put it all. And I really wish I could find it. If you give me another couple of seconds, I'm sorry, guys, but I wanted to show you something else. I don't know where I put it because it should be all up here. Where did you go? Shoot. I don't know where it went. Maybe I don't have it anymore. All right. Okay. Well, we'll fumper over. I remember talking when Crystal was still around. Good morning, Megs. I remember talking when Crystal was still around that she said, well, why don't you just spray it? And I think she was referring to fabric. Now, where did my gum go? And, okay, so I tried that. And when I was making, I don't know if everybody remembers the dark fay where I used 2 masks and oak leaves. I don't know how long cats live. Martha, how long do cats live? Anybody in chat? I'm not sure. 12? 14? What's the average life? Oh, gosh, I just lost that. Where did that go? No, I don't want that. I want this. Okay. So she said, why don't you just spray it with paint? Okay. Well, I have found that some fabric takes the sprays differently, which is, of course, 100% cotton would take a certain spray deeper and richer than a polyester. Some polyesters don't take any kind of spray. If trying to color fabric, if you're going to dye it, you need acid dyes, which just means you use vinegar. You know, acid dye sounds like you're going to be getting some kind of chemical that you used to have to wear rubber gloves with. But acid just refers to vinegar. And I have a bunch of powdered dyes like that. But so I used this spray, but I wanted to make, now this was silver. And I can't show you a side because it's sprayed. I sprayed it with Dilutions Black Marble Ink Spray. And I gave it a couple of coats. And the thing was, it looks black on your screen, but it really comes out a dark charcoal gray, which is absolutely gorgeous color. Not the color I wanted, mind you, but a gorgeous color. And I started, the reason why I mentioned the dark face sign was because I wanted to spray some of the appliques that I got green. And I didn't have enough of the ink, the alcohol ink in the bottle to do it. I tried putting some of my alcohol ink and then mixing it with more alcohol so I could spray. And there goes the phone again. And who is this? Staten Island, another prank call or whatever call. So I used this, and I didn't have a piece of it left to show you the gray that it comes out. But even if I sprayed it a couple of times on this ribbon or trim, it still came out a dark gray because I don't think it was 100% cotton that's in here. But this is by taking this was silver, and you can go look it up online. I think One of a Kind Artist Emporium has it. Normal 15 to 20 years. Okay, much longer than I thought, Martha. Excellent. It makes it a beautiful charcoal gray, rich color. And because the threads used in here are sometimes, this one has the silver. You can see where it's bright and sparkly. That's the silver that's in it. But the background was, and here's the sort of the color that it comes out. It comes out that dark gray color. No matter how many times I spray this, it wouldn't come out black. But this is coming out. Now, Martha, I know we have to do one more video on this, and this is usually just one of our videos. This is the problem I was having with this, is I could not figure out this part, and I can't figure out her cape. And that's why we haven't gone any further with this. But, and I also redid her skirt 3 times because I couldn't get it the way I wanted it to. But I used this around here first. And then I took an individual one of these, which means that I cut it off up to here. And I painted it black, and I used glitter that I have. I have black glitter, and I also have another color that's like gray glitter that is shiny. I don't know the name of that. I can run and get it. And while the gesso was drying, I sprinkled the glitter on the gesso so that it would be embedded in the gesso, because one of the things I hate about glitter is that it comes off and I find it all over the house. That drives me crazy. So I'm up to this part. I got this part. This was real easy. I'll do the cape, you know, Martha, you know how we do the cape, to show you how I did it. But basically what I used was this, moved it around, cut it, and glued it in the back. Nobody's going to see the back. Oh, you didn't see the back. You can't. There. And then I just took one of these, another one segment, painted it, glittered it, glued that on. And then I took the tip of the back and I folded it forward. And I folded it forward like this to just make a different kind of a collar on it. Okay, so you can, the whole point of all of this is you can use spray to spray your trim, but sometimes you're not going to get the color you want. So if you have paint and you don't have any spray to check it out and try it with, and this is good stuff. I like this stuff. I'd always paint it first. But I didn't want this to get, because I'm going to be doing some other trim for the cape and all this other stuff. I didn't want, it gets it a little stiffer when you paint it. So that's a little bit of a problem. Especially if it's on an outfit and it's going to be moving a little bit. This is not going to be moving, but I figured I had it and I wanted to try it. And I love the color of this much better because the silver in this is not totally silver. It's made, because there's some things that you can buy and it's they're vintage and they came from Germany when they had the real silver thread or gold thread on it, where the whole thing is gold or silver. But these things now, when you have the silver or the gold in it, a lot of times it's just 1 or 2 and I don't know if this is correct, but what it looks like is it's one or two threads or flat, thin pieces of either silver and gold woven onto like white thread or white cord, a little bit thicker than thread, so I guess I would call it cord. I don't know. But this is not, even when you buy the silver or you buy the gold version on this, the gold version is just on yellow thread. It's not totally gold or totally silver. I have trim that's very expensive that is like the whole thing is gold. And that was from a store that I used to have in the city, meaning Manhattan, that I used to go to. It was called Tinsel Trading Company. I've mentioned it before. You can go online. I think they moved out to San Francisco. It was one of my favorite stores I used to go to when I was worked in Manhattan, because it was like this little hole in the wall store that was very narrow, very deep, and it had trim all over the place. And the trim that they had was from Germany, was original, beautiful trim that they made. Now the trim nowadays, it's some of it is beautiful, but it just doesn't compare. Okay, hold on, the fort. Hold on to the fort. Thank you. Hold on to the fort here. Hold on. Okay. Thank you, Christine. And this is die cuts with the view out 12 by 12 paper stacked with glitter. Oh, okay. Well, that's what I could. Christine, the link that you gave me, thank you very much. That's what I could have used on my Cinderella Coach, but we tried using the fabric. Okay, so let me switch cams because I'm going, and I just want to say thank you to everybody. Oh, look at me. This is what I look like when you got to flip the hat around, because if I do it this way, the hat hits the camera, and all I'm going to be done, the camera was jumping enough. You didn't need to hear bonk, bonk, bonk all the time. Okay, ladies, it was lovely coming in the morning. It's now 2:00 in the afternoon, and I'm hungry. Thank you for everything. So I'm hoping that I showed you how enough of the Cinderella Coach, how there's a lot of pre-planning depending on what am I looking at? I don't even know where I'm looking. I'm getting punchy. Okay. There's a lot of pre-planning that you have to do if you're doing more with the coach. Now, if you were covering the coach with paper and leaving the doors, whether they open or close, and you didn't care about that hole on the bottom that you would see, and that hole is, I don't even know where my coaches went. Oh, here they are. Ah, just dropped it. Yay. If you didn't care, because this is how it would have been originally. I don't have a straight piece, but if you would have opened the door, that's how I love that. This is how it would have been. So that's why I did all of this nonsense, trying to get it so that it looks how do you do that? Like a little platform in there with little seats. It would have went much easier. And of course, if I would have used paper, it would have been much easier. But why do we have to do it? You know, if this comes out the way I hope that it comes out, it'll be very pretty with this fabric on it, this fabric. So we'll see. We'll see how the whole thing comes out and what it's going to look like at the end. The one part about this is a little bit of a difficult project to put together, and that's why I sort of semi-glued the top together, because you have to put, when you're putting it together, you have to start on one side. Hello, how is everybody? You have to start on one side and try to get everything in the tabs and hold it down, and then try to line it up by putting the other side down. So it's going to be interesting. Okay, so I think you pretty much have it. I know Martha was interested in seeing how, what I was going to do with it. And basically, this is it until I get to the point of decorating it, which means that the whole coach has to be put together, which is the windows, because like I said, I won't have access to the inside once I put it all together. So everything that I want to do on the inside, I have to plan. But getting this to this stage or I just have this, which is where the base, where the people's little feeties are going to go, and here's where the seat cushions are going to go, and this, of course, is backwards, and it's very confusing to me, as usual, that way. Okay, I don't know how movie actors do this. I really don't. Okay, I guess they're trained. So I have to get the cushions done. I have to make the cushions. I already have the platforms where the cushions are going to stay. And then once I have the cushions in, I'm going to look at it and see how much of a back cushion I want to put on. And then how much of a decoration I want to put on the top over the back cushions. And then once that's done and the windows are in, I'm ready to put the whole thing together and figure out what I'm doing with the outside. How much or how little I'm going to be doing at the outside. Romper, stomper, bopper, boo. What the? What? I'm telling you. There's some crazy people in this chat. Thank you, Christine. Okay. So, ladies and Benny and any of the gentlemen that might be here, thank you for coming in and hanging out with me for a couple of hours. I'm going to get off. I'm going to make lunch so I can eat because I'm beginning to hear my stomach going, and it's not a pretty sound. All that is what I want to watch, Jim. Okay, good. I'm so glad, Martha. I'm glad that I showed you everything, because once it's together, you could decorate it any which way you want to. There's a lot of pieces, but it's easy to put together. I showed you how to fix the tabs. If you put, you have to cut, line it up, and you know how to do all of that because you're very good with, your blades and figuring it all out. Okay, so thank you. Thank you, everybody. So have a wonderful, what day is today, Wednesday? I think today is Wednesday. I'm losing track of time, guys. And also, I figured something out. I was sitting here and saying, why am I not getting anything done? It's the summer. Last year, I got so much done. Well, it's because last year I wasn't in school from March on because of the virus. So that was a lot. That's March, April, May, June. That's 4 more months. So that's why I got so much more done over, quote unquote, the summer when I wasn't working, because it's only 2 months on a regular time. So, okay. Now that I figured that all out and I told you everything that's in my head, I am going to go have lunch. I thank you for coming in and for watching me. I hope I gave you some instructions or some information. There's a bunch of links on the bottom under the video if you want to link Alpha Stamps, which gave you the chipboard, also Gypsy Soul laser cuts. There's a fabric where I bought this black fabric, the black fabric with gold, and a few other links that I did. And I hope you all have, yeah, that's how I remember it, because today is recycling day, and that's the only way. Use real metal for the door handles. I think I might have to. Okay, I might have to do something there. I might have to link something. All right, we'll figure that all out. Okay, so ladies and Benny and any other gents, have a wonderful Wednesday. I'm trying to look at the camera. Where are you looking, June? Have a wonderful Wednesday, and I hope to see you soon. And until you do, have fun creating beauty. Bye, guys. Oops, let's go. End broadcast. There you go.